official. The crystal! The crystal calls! To the crystal chamber!
Greetings, Gelflings! My name is Tobias Ulrach Rowe, and welcome to Visions of the Dark Crystal. On the 19th of June, the official Dark Crystal Facebook page posted this image, along with a description that read, "What message does the crystal bring us today? Look closely for the answers, young Gelfling." Wasting absolutely no time whatsoever, I downloaded the image and began to scour it for clues. Although the poster isn't illustrated by Dark Crystal artist Brian Froud, the woven pattern of the vines are very reminiscent of his work, as featured on the front cover of the most recent edition of the World of the Dark Crystal book. However, they do represent the blue flowers and vines of Vliste Stabber, the sanctuary tree in Grot, which speaks to Deet in the Age of Resistance teaser trailer. But what message is the crystal trying to tell us? Starting from the top of the poster, there is the first of the three suns, the Greater Sun. Then, several forms of Thra wildlife begin to appear. An airborne seedling of some kind, perhaps of Vliste Stabber itself, glowing cocoons, and the spinners, seen in the Age of Resistance teaser trailer and original film. Moving further down, the Dark Crystal itself is front and centre. The vines of Vliste Stabber closest to the Dark Crystal are decaying, which is a result of the darkening. As we pass the halfway point, the remaining two suns flank the Dark Crystal on either side, the Rose Sun and the Dying Sun. The bottom half of the poster is where it begins to get really interesting though, and a lot more oddities are revealed. Augra's eyeball is nestled amongst a patch of grass, a bottle of Gelfling essence has tipped over, and a small silk spitter spiderweb is strung in a knot of vines. The seedlings also appear again, as well as another new form of wildlife, some kind of firefly-like fairy, which more than likely hatch out of the glowing hanging cocoons above. And the references don't end there either. At the very bottom there are several Fizzgigs. A grey one wearing an eye patch, and perhaps even one hiding in the dark recess of the vines below. There is also a crown that has fallen to the ground, most likely the crown of the Ormordra Meirin, which perhaps, without reading too much into it, is possibly symbolic of the end of her rule? However, despite all of these interesting things, what immediately caught my attention were the two stone slabs at the very bottom of the poster. I just knew they contained the message that the crystal was trying to tell us. Looking at the stone slabs in more detail, I identified that the hieroglyphs engraved on them match the 22 hieroglyphs engraved on the stone slabs surrounding the crystal shaft in the Castle of the Crystal. At first I thought that the hieroglyphs related to our alphabet, with the secret message on the poster spelling words. But there are 26 letters in the alphabet, not 22. So it had to be number related. Looking at the crystal shaft from an aerial point of view, the circular layout of the stone slabs looks similar to a clock face. But again, there are 22 hieroglyphs and only 12 numbers on a clock. However, I realised that if you assign each of the hieroglyphs a number based on their respective order going clockwise, it provided me with the key to the code. Assigning numbers to the respective symbols, I deciphered the following. There was just one problem. What did the circular symbols stand for? Especially the one with a dash in its centre, as these symbols don't appear on the floor of the Castle of the Crystal. There were also dots in between certain symbols too. As the code was based on numbers, I decided that the only logical approach was to treat the circles as zeros and the dots as decimals. Looking at the completed code, I then recognised their format. They were latitude and longitude coordinates. Fearing that other fans might have cracked the code before me, I hurriedly typed the coordinates into Google Maps and it pinpointed the BFI South Bank in London, United Kingdom. It was at this point, Gelflings, that I lost it. The idea of an Age of Resistance premiere raced through my mind, and seeing as though I had cracked the code, I dared to dream that the official Dark Crystal Facebook page might actually reward me with 2 tickets. I frantically commented on the post, explaining my findings, and then it happened. Tobias Rowe. Well done, Gelfling! You've cracked the code! More to come tomorrow, and of course, a reward for your noble efforts. True to their word, the official Dark Crystal Facebook page sent me a private message, rewarding me with an Age of Resistance poster and 2 tickets to the now announced Into Thra, Dark Crystal Age of Resistance exhibition at the BFI South Bank in August. Visions of the Dark Crystal will be providing live coverage of the event and releasing a part 2 video, so stay tuned. I would like to give a shout out to Ethan Erskine for being the Tom Cruise to my Dustin Hoffman as I frantically tried to crack the code a la Rain Man. And if you have enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the Visions of the Dark Crystal channel and invite your fellow Gelflings to do the same for the next time when the crystal calls.